I mean, it's Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points? I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get this
cool, they won. I wasn't like, oh my God, I got to go take to the streets and flip cars and shit. No, I didn't give a shit.
What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday morning to you all. Hope you all had a nice Monday night. Man, I got Tomlin so hard tonight. I received the most vicious Tomlining of all time. Got Tomlin. Yeah, that game was a destruction. 7-6
One more year, Rodgers.
So yes, speaking of Rodgers, speaking of the Green Bay Packers, Trevor, you want to talk about this? So this was sent by Trevor in the group chat. If you're wondering, 10:48 p.m. what was going on at the time, the Packers were up 3 with the football with 3 minutes to go. They got the ball back up 3, and Trevor sent this. It's time with the Jordan Love celebration gif. So
it wasn't even his fault.
Take us through the rest of that. How did that game play out?
Okay, Jordan Love is not the man to blame whatsoever in that game. That is ridiculous to think that he has any hand in that freaking L. Matt LaFraud has everything to do with it. That dude he needs to play Madden or something. He does not understand how to use the clock, when to use timeouts. He is mentally incapable of making important decisions and managing a game when it gets late. A lot of that, Bisaccia wasn't great per usual, but it just LaFleur. I will say one negative on Jordan Love. You have back-to-back timeouts, and then you followed up with a delay game. I lost my shit. I lost it when we got that delay game. And even with LaFleur taking his foot off the gas and trying to play not to lose with the whole second half left the game, they had the chance. Watson dropped that ball, should have been a touchdown. The injury bug got the best of us this year. We played our hearts out, and LaFleur gave the Bears that game. So congratulations, Bears. You finally won something. It's the most relevant thing you've done in close to 20 years since your Super Bowl run. So I can't wait to play you guys next year. That turnover luck is gonna change, and you guys are not going to be any good next year. Per usual, it'll just be same old Bears. So it is what it is. It was brutal. I would have rather got blown up by 50 in the next round, but it is what it is. LaFleur gave away that game, and J. Love played his heart out, and Watson should have caught that ball at the end.
Powerful stuff. All right, let's talk about college basketball.
And McAnus. That guy left a tutty out on the field by himself.
Were people really calling him McAnus?
I do. The dude's
I'm asking, did you just make that up, or are people really calling him that?
Me and my buddies call him McAnus when he misses field goals.
That came about at the supper club. It's McAnus.
Yeah, there's a lot of McAnus talk on Saturday night.
A lot of McAnus talk. All right, first game up is Kent State Buffalo. We got some really good ones. This isn't one of the more interesting one, but two of you folks checked this one.
I clicked this in honor of Trevor, so let these guys go first because I bet you they have better opinions on it than I do. So go ahead.
All right.
Spoon.
I got Buffalo plus 2.5 minus 115 here. It's really hard to travel in the MAC. Kent State's got to take a 3-hour bus ride. I was kind of browsing the different players' social medias, just trying to see if they were still in Cleveland or not tonight. I think they're going to take the bus ride in the morning. I think that's not the best way to set yourself up for travel. We look back at Kent State the last 3 or 4 years, a lot of their losses in conference have come on the road. I think this game comes down to the last couple of possessions. I don't think Buffalo walks away with this, but to have the plus 2.5 in my pocket, I think it's going to be a good spot by the end of the game.
So there's someone opened up a market in the chat. It was Tan B Appliance. He says TV Jones over under 5.5 vape hits is the posted total for this show. Sitting at 5.5. So TV Jones agree or disagree with Buffalo?
Minus 110 too. Good number. Go ahead.
Oh, smash the over. Smash it. Yeah, I like Buffalo too. We're aligned here. Buffalo off of the loss to Ohio. Lost by 11 on the road. Now they're coming home. The last 2 games they've lost, they bounced back. UMBC, they won on the road, and then Western Michigan, they won by 17 on the road. Now you get to go play Kent State. Kent State hasn't been super impressive, in my opinion, this year. Their defense is not looking good. They're coming off of a Central Michigan loss on the road. Now you're going to hit back-to-back games where you got to go to New York now to play Buffalo. This Buffalo team is good. They got bad free throw luck. Teams are shooting 78%. That's bottom 5 in the country. But Kent State, I don't think they're going to be getting to the line too much in this one. I don't believe in their defense. I like Buffalo at home. I think they're underrated. This feels like a Kent State name line with them laying points. I think Buffalo should be the team laying 1.5 at home. So I will gladly take the 1.5 with Buffalo here.
Wow. Toast.
Over or pass, both these teams offensively, I trust. Defensively, definitely not so much. I think Buffalo's has been playing really, really good. They just lost to Ohio or somebody, right? But anyway,
on the road.
It would only be over for me. I don't know. It feels kind of weird, honest.
All right, let's move on to some better games. And we got a bunch of good ones on the board today, despite starting with that. Villanova Providence. Shout out Xavier. Came through. I think me and Spoon both took the Musketeers in that. So now Providence is back at home at the Dunk. Too short, though. Isn't Villanova pretty good?
Yeah, I think they're all right.
So do you buy low on Providence after losing to Xavier back at the Dunk?
Did any of you guys actually bet this game?
No.
I'm probably going to bet Villanova.
Really? I kind of wanted to take Providence.
No, Providence is bad. They got up and pulled a St. John's win out of their
They're at the
out of their ass. I don't care about the Dunk. It only matters to me February 14th against
Can
Georgetown.
I just remind you the last time we talked about the Dunk? Do you remember what happened?
Yeah, they covered against UConn. Congrats.
Took them to overtime.
Took them to overtime.
Yeah, congrats. Good win or moral victory, I should say, for them. But I still don't think Providence is a good team. Villanova, I believe in. This is their second road game. I know they have St. John's on deck on Saturday, but Villanova is just the better team. Willard, first year back in the Big East. He's not going to sleepwalk to any of these spots. If Providence puts together another game, 3 of their last 4 then would be, great showings. So be it. But I think they're running out of juice. I mean, Xavier just beat them by 13. I don't know how much juice they have. I think they're giving out. Villanova is the much better team. Can defend, can shoot, can do everything. So give me Villanova laying the 2 here. I have no problem with it. These home teams have been rough at times this year too.
Thoughts, Toast? It would only be Providence for me. I didn't bet them. I didn't bet them against Xavier, so I don't have any ill will against them. I mean, if you look at again, what's the bad loss for Providence? I mean, there really, really isn't one. So I still feel like this team is a little bit better than
Wisconsin.
I mean, Wisconsin just beat the team that's the best we've ever seen in the world, right? So
they would have beat the dream team shooting like that.
I mean, Wisconsin. I'm just saying, we know Michigan's super volatile as well. I mean, all those Evan Mee and stuff all say they play up and down the competition. So very volatile team. I think of Michigan is just like a really, really good Alabama, to be honest with you guys. But regardless, I don't know. This line's short. I think it's kind of short for a reason. I just really haven't been super impressed with Villanova. They've played a decent schedule on paper, but if you really kind of look at it, it's really not that great. Marquette, Butler, Seton Hall, just really DePaul, another one. Just these games in this conference, in the Big East Conference somewhere, just really hasn't impressed me. They didn't really play anybody in the non-cons either. So besides BYU and then obviously the Michigan game, but I don't know. I don't. Yeah, this one's kind of hard. It would be Providence or pass, but I'm not betting it.
Well, actually, I'm looking at this, and Villanova's defensive numbers against the fast break are really good. And that's what Providence likes to do. What about an under 159?
I don't hate that.
Spoon, any thoughts?
That's a high total for a Villanova game.
Yeah, they're slow as hell, and they're good at defending the fast break. They'll probably dictate the tempo, keep Providence from running.
Yeah, let me see.
What do you think of an under?
Dude, and Providence hasn't seen a slow-paced team since St. John's
Oh
in
my
that
God,
game.
let's go.
And then before that was Fairleigh Dickinson, and that they scored 94 because it's Fairleigh Dickinson. But yeah, they've only seen a couple teams. With New Hampshire was another one, but again, those teams are nothing to Villanova. Yeah, I don't mind that under at all.
Spoon, would you co-sign an under?
I will co-sign that under. And just a note on that, St. John's head coach Patino is the head coach that what's his name for Villanova came up under, Kevin Willard. So they modeled their teams very similarly. Very good offensive rebounding teams, very focused on defense. Shooting is one of those things that's always comes last in their equation for building a team. So I like that under. I think that's a huge game on deck for Willard to play as old head coach there with Patino. So I'm not sure I really want to get involved with Villanova, but I think they are the better team. Providence definitely can get some energy in this building, but I mean, Villanova is going to be well aware of how good the dunk is, and just seeing them do that to UConn, I think they kind of blew their cover there. I don't have any edge on this number, but if it comes down and Providence takes money, I would bet Villanova.
All right, I'm betting the under right now.
There's a 1.5 on DK.
And Villanova can't shoot free throws to save their life, which is so un-Villanova-like.
They'll be fine.
Oh,
Still weird. I'm not talking about this game in particular. I'm just saying it's weird.
Hold on, I want to get one of these 159.5s before they're
And
all
I think
done.
that's good for the under as well, because you would assume Villanova is in control of this game.
The score bet has the 159.5. Sorry to hold up the show. I want one of these 159.5.
Providence is, man, yeah. I just don't know what to think of this team.
Come on, no?
They're not very good.
Yeah, but
159.5.
that's what happens when you play a top 15 schedule.
I'm in.
There's not a lot of teams that are going to look that good.
Providence hasn't been good in forever.
All right.
We've got 3 teams with top 65 teams that all went to OT. I mean,
Indiana,
Did
Michigan.
they win them in OT?
no. Okay, Trevor. You want to play that game? Let's play the game.
Indiana on the road at Sparty. I gotta say, Indiana looked really strong in the first half against Nebraska.
They were up 12 in the second half, weren't they?
Yeah. What might
Or
have
was
been
that
12?
late first half?
No, it might have been 12. Yeah, they were. And then Nebraska is just, that team is magical, man. So
9 seed at best.
Crown them.
stop, dude.
It's the truth.
Yeah, okay. Your hate for Nebraska is to the point where
Joe Lenardi just came out with his bracket and he said this is the max they're going to get is a 9 seed. Yet I'm the crazy one. But I've been telling you guys for
I don't
weeks.
know who that is, but he's crazy too.
Just know that he's like the #1 source for bracketology, and he's telling everybody at best they're a 9.
He dropped down to the dead last source after that take. So do you think the Hoosiers can hang with Sparty here?
I do not. I think Sparty by a mile, personally. Trevor,
I
you
think
don't like?
I added this game, so that's why I think I added this. Oh no, Toast clicked it.
Yeah.
Oh,
Trevor's making a face though, so now I want to hear what Trevor has to say. I don't like it.
explain your face, Trevor.
Yeah, what's the face for Trevor?
There's not much to it. Yeah, Michigan State here. I'll land it. Izzo, students should be getting back here too. The Izzone should be jumping. I mean, even without the students, that place was still loud. Indiana, they had a 12-point lead. You blew it at home. Now you're going to go on the road and play a team that likes to play defense, can get up and down the floor real quick, and very lengthy and athletic. IU, they're a fun story. They have their moments, but going on the road to Sparty, DeVries' first time, I just don't see this ending well. I don't think Indiana's going to be able to shoot the way they normally do and be able to hang in this game. I think Sparty just makes life hell, and it's going to be difficult. I think this is something like 78, 68, something like that in this one. So I like Sparty here, laying the 7.5, and if I had to, it would probably be an under.
I was kind of leaning the other way. I was kind of impressed with Indiana in the first half there against Nebraska. I watched that whole game.
It's a 40-minute game, though.
No, but I didn't even think they were playing that poorly in the second half. Nebraska's just magical.
They're lucky.
Spoon, what are your thoughts?
And I laid it with Sparty too, just for the record. I got 6.5. I have a lot of reason.
So Izzo doesn't lose a lot of home games here in the Big Ten. 3 in the last 2 years since the start of 2024 calendar year, and both of the 2 teams he lost to in 2024, he went and won on the road pretty commandingly against, and didn't drop a game to either of them. Last year, he only lost 1 home game. It was to Indiana. They lost by 4 points. So I think this is going to be a game where Michigan State kind of shows off. I don't think 7.5 is too big of a number. I think they win this game. I haven't bet it, though.
I think you guys are wrong. I'm putting up Indiana.
Yeah, I laid it. This is one of the first bets I sent out today. Laid it at 6.5 with Sparty here. Just taking a look at what Indiana's doing away from home and at home is just completely different. Indiana shooting 26% from 3 in true road games this year. That's just not going to get the job done against Sparty. They're one of the worst rebounding teams offensively and defensively. That's a nightmare when you're going up against Sparty as well. And they've also been pretty damn lucky against the teams that they've played: Minnesota, Kentucky, and Maryland. In those 3 games, those teams shot less than 25% from deep in those games. I've had a lot of conversations with multiple people on this game. I think Sparty wins this game by 10 plus easily.
I think the Hoosiers play him down to the last possession. But whatever. I won't bet it. No one co-signed it.
You don't need us to co-sign it.
Ohio Toledo. I'm assuming Spoon wants to talk about this because he goes to damn near every Toledo game.
Toledo plays Ohio tomorrow at home. Talked about it. It's hard to win on the road in the MAC, and Toledo's coming off pretty embarrassing loss to Miami of Ohio there. Not a great effort at all. That was a 1-point spread that ended up finishing 87-73. I got Toledo -2.5, -110 here. I think this number probably closes right around 2.5 or 3. I don't think it moves a lot, but I do think this is a good Toledo spot. I think Kowalczyk's really good at finding bounce backs. I remember one of the first times I went up to Toledo, it was when Vermont played them. They lost by like 26 to Vermont, and they bounced back, started 5-0 in conference play. This team played pretty tough out of conference schedule, as did Ohio, and I think they're starting to figure their team out a little bit better. Every game, Leroy Bladden, their best player, most skilled player, gets a little bit healthier, and I think they find a way to show off and win this game. Toledo doesn't play a lot of defense. Always look to live bet this team if they take a little bit of dip in the first half as well.
What about TV Jones?
Yeah, I like Toledo also. At home off of a loss on national TV game there against Miami, Ohio. Toledo shot 44% from 3 versus 39% for Ohio, but 13 less threes, and then they shot 36% inside the arc. Pretty brutal stuff to do that. You couldn't hit anything inside, and they shot hot from 3, and they just didn't shoot enough. I mean, you got outshot by 13 from the 3-point line. Tough to win a game. But yeah, bouncing back at home, Ohio's on a win streak here. I think Kowalczyk gets these guys up. I mean, you just played on national TV. You got embarrassed at home. It was never really a game. I think they bounce back here. The defense isn't good, but Ohio has been making their shots. But, you look through the course of the year, it's not like this is an offensively gifted team that can put up 85 points, 90 points a game. I think they take a step back. I think Toledo ends up just outscoring them here. Not to mention Toledo shoots like 75, 76% from the line. So trying to close out a game, I'm going to trust that team and them at home off of a bad, embarrassing loss.
I like this guy, Scott Davis, in the comments. He's like, what is going on? Spoon and TV Jones agreeing? Am I dreaming?
Is this every single game so far?
I think you're agreeing on every game so far. Wow. TV Jones takes a hiatus. The Packers lose. He comes back, and he's more agreeable.
That was uncalled for.
What?
That was uncalled for.
The Packers lost, and you came back a changed person. You're now agreeing with Spoon.
Just a low blow, man.
I don't even know what I said.
Still mourning.
Toast, do you agree with these two?
No, I do not. I didn't bet it, so it doesn't really matter. But Ohio's played multiple really good teams on the road. St. Mary's, Louisville, just name 2 of them. But more or less, I just think they're playing better basketball right now, personally. So I don't really put too much stock in Toledo. I don't think they've played a very good schedule. Michigan State's the one road game that they got, but besides that, Oakland, I mean, that's like the best teams that they're playing, and this game's at home. I don't know. Toledo hasn't been really impressive to me at all, so I wouldn't be laying 3 points with them to an Ohio team that I think is just as good, if not better.
I'm good on that.
Their non-con schedules are ranked 10 games or 10 points apart, 123 and 112.
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean,
Let's head down to the SEC. Although this is disappointing because I got to say I haven't watched a single Texas A&M game yet this year, so I can't really chime in. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say, though. I like the SEC. I like the Big 12. Big 12 and Big East, I think, are my favorite two basketball conferences to bet, but I'm down with some SEC games. Texas A&M is on the road at Knoxville for this one. I don't know if anyone checked it. Nope, I added this one, so this is a curveball I threw you guys. Who wants to take it?
I'll take it. Texas. I like Texas A&M with the 9.5 here. Tennessee off of 2 of the last 3 losses here, both on the road. I think a lot of people are banking on Tennessee just to bounce back incoming here, but Tennessee's been playing with more pace this year. They're 72nd in the country. That's going to play well for Texas A&M. They're a fast-paced team that likes to get up and down the court. They can shoot. Their defense is a little suspect, but they can force turnovers here. And Tennessee, where are you at, Tennessee? They are 24th in the country at assists per field goal make, and then Texas A&M gives up a lot of that. So if their open shots are falling, I could see an over here, but I just don't think Tennessee's offense is, as good as A&M's. I mean, Amen's kind of taking a back seat here. This Texas A&M team was down whatever they were to Auburn, found a way to come back and win, and then you'd think another a spot to fade them coming in against Oklahoma. They won by 7 or 8. Now you're going to go to Tennessee. I think they're playing really good ball. I think the fact that Tennessee wants to play a little bit more tempo is going to play right into Texas A&M hands and Bucky ball. 9.5 is too many. I don't think Texas A&M wins. I think they lose this game by like 5 or 6. It's just too many points. I'll take Texas A&M with the 9.5.
How are the strength of schedules here? Because I'm pulling up the CBB analytics comparison chart. I have it on the screen. These teams look pretty even. In fact, it looks like Texas A&M might be slightly stronger.
Yeah, that's why.
Well, Texas A&M's non-con is 334 in the country. Tennessee played a 176. Current overall 40 strength of schedule versus 225. So A&M's numbers are a little bit inflated.
So 225 strength of schedule versus 40. Okay, so you, Spoon, would you say this line is fair at 8.5?
I think this is a Tennessee spot. I think A&M's a little bit overrated with that schedule. Tennessee just lost by like 25 points to Florida. This seems like a spot where you come back and get really right at home. I think they win this game by double digits. I'm not getting involved with it, though.
I just don't know anything about Texas A&M to chime in.
It's Bucky ball, so just get ready for a wild ride. Put your seatbelt on and just have fun.
It's very high variance basketball.
Yes.
What does that mean? What do you mean by that? Well, I know what high variance means, but I mean like
Google Bucky ball. Google Bucky ball.
Fast. It's IU Indy.
Shoot a lot.
Same thing. It's up and down the floor. Shoot a whole bunch of threes and layups. If you shoot a 2-pointer, you're going to be fined. Type of situation. Like that's what they do.
They're textbook rim and 3 team. I mean, they're third in the country with average 2-point distance from the rim, and then they're shooting 37.5% from 3, and they're launching up to 38.
Well, Tennessee is giving up a good percentage of their points on the fast break.
From 3.
Exactly.
From 3 also.
You notice the teams that they've struggled with so far. Hold on, let me get to Tennessee. I just had that.
Hold on, I'll pull it up. So this is Tennessee stuff. We're talking
about a loss to Florida, top 70 in pace. A loss to Arkansas, 129. A loss to Illinois, that doesn't count. Syracuse, top 100 in pace. Kansas, it's not really much, but I mean, when they face these upper level teams, I just feel like it's a lot for a Tennessee team that I agree with Trevor. I don't think is that good right now. Yes, they've played a very good schedule, or I guess not very good, a pretty good schedule, but Kansas is kind of down this year. Syracuse isn't great. Illinois I don't think Illinois had everybody in that game. Let's take a look. Did they have everybody?
They've had so many different lineups this year.
Yeah, they didn't have Big Z. I mean, give or take, whatever. They didn't have it wasn't a full Illini team. I Yeah, I just feel like these teams are very, very similar, and I feel like Texas A&M, regardless of the non-con, I agree with you, with Spoon. They didn't play a very good non-con schedule, but this is also a brand new coach, and they needed to get some of these wins under their belt. They're also one of the most experienced teams in the country. They're going to play a Tennessee team I feel like it's gonna be the same type of game where if Tennessee shoots a whole bunch of threes and wins, so be it. But if this game is close down the line, Tennessee turns the ball over and they can't shoot free throws. Texas A&M doesn't do either one of those, so. I feel like these teams are a lot more equal than people give them credit for. I honestly thought this was going to be one of those 6.5 games. So I was very surprised to see the 9.5s. I'm well aware of what the Ken Pom number is too. But
also, these home team spots haven't been getting home this year at all either.
I'll put up Texas A&M. I'm not going to bet it though.
Come on.
I do like that. I think I nailed that Villanova Providence under.
I was going to say the under. I hope you bet that because that was the smartest thing you said so far. Yeah. I didn't mean. Sorry, that was.
You said some dumb shit.
I didn't mean it like that. Okay, whatever.
Virginia Louisville, and I don't even care who clicked this game. We need to pass it to Trevor because for those of you that haven't been watching, Trevor's been religiously backing this Louisville team, religiously getting smoked with it. So have you seen enough of Louisville? Or are you still a believer?
I still believe in them a little bit. I think they can beat the upper echelon teams, but they can't beat the top echelon teams.
Can you give me an example of those teams just really quickly so I have an idea?
Yeah, an upper echelon. I don't know.
Duke,
they played tough. That's a top echelon. Upper echelon,
Clemson?
like an Indiana kind of team, like a team that's top of their conference, but they're not like going to be competing for
like Boston College.
Boston, the last 7 minutes they played really good. If they played like that last 7 minutes the whole game.
Guys, hold on. Everything's fine. They played a good 7-minute stretch against Boston College at home.
Hey, they beat Indiana and Kentucky.
And Memphis.
Wow,
Spoon's so good this year. You're right.
Spoon's sounding like a Louisville apologist right now.
No,
whose side are you on, Spoon?
Spoon's with me. He hates Pat Kelsey.
I'm not putting my money on Pat Kelsey. Great job beating Boston College. I was just trying to help Trevor out there a little bit. I mean, you can't say
not your style
that bad about Louisville.
Well, I will say I like Virginia. Virginia, Ryan Odom, very good team. They've won 3 straight. I know they have SMU on deck, but Louisville's still a big team, obviously. Louisville has Pittsburgh on deck, so no look ahead. They just beat Boston College, but Virginia can shoot the 3. They can defend it. They get to the rim. They don't turn it over. They can rebound. Louisville is so 3-point variant. I don't think they're going to have much success versus Virginia team. Virginia, they like to play with a decent amount of pace. Ryan Odom, very good defensive coach. Their free throws are a little bit of an issue, but they can still defend. They can grab rebounds. They're not going to give you the ball. They can shoot from all levels of the floor, and they get to the rim a lot too. Louisville, no Michael Brown, and that Connor. I think Connerway is that the guy's name? Conwell did leave with an injury the other game, so sure he'll probably play. Michael Brown, Adrian Woolley, the Kennesaw State kid. He's awesome.
I think it's that the Germany kid. Name?
Vangelis Zugris.
Whatever that is? Yeah, I can't remember, but yeah.
That is 3 minutes a game.
Does he really only? No, he doesn't.
Vangelis Zugris.
No, Sandra Furr.
Oh, Sandara Fru. Yeah. All right, fine. You got that. You still have some injuries, but Virginia is just the better team. Ryan Odom's the better coach. It is what it is. This team is got it all. I mean, defense, shooting, and ability to run and play pace.
Which of these Virginia wins are impressive, though?
What are you talking about? I mean, they beat Texas. They beat Dayton. They beat Texas on the road. They beat Dayton. They beat Northwestern.
Texas sucks.
NC State. They beat Cal. They beat Stanford.
That's an
they
argument.
went on the road after a triple overtime loss to Virginia Tech, which they should have never lost. They blew it, and then they came back and off a triple overtime game, and then beat NC State by 15 on the road.
They suck too.
Yeah, well,
Louisville and NC State are the same team.
You just took Louisville to beat Duke like 2 days ago.
Yeah, because it was a home spot, and you know what? These spots are not coming home this year. Everyone's going to bet Louisville tomorrow, bounce back, fake sharp.
No, everyone's clicking Virginia. This is when you buy on Louisville because everyone is bailed. Are you with me, Spoon? Spoon, give me the signal that we're betting Louisville.
Not gonna get it from him.
It just goes against like core principle beliefs here. You want to talk about a good coach, Ryan Odom, like led a UMBC team to a tournament victory over this
VCU?
Virginia team. And then VCU. He's been a great coach for a long time now. He's shown the ability to win as an underdog at 3 different schools. I think 3.5 points versus Louisville. I think they could win outright. I do certainly agree that you are buying low on Louisville, and that's always a good thing to be doing. But I don't think the strength of schedule that Virginia has played at this point in the season really gives them a fair shot of you being able to say they have those really big wins. Virginia Tech also beat Virginia, so going to triple overtime with Virginia Tech, I don't know.
Road game.
I think this is a good Virginia spot, but I don't know. I'm not going to have my money involved with it.
I think you take Louisville here. Toast, you're on
Nah.
Virginia too. No one likes Louisville. No one in the comments. No one.
Let me finish. I'm not betting it, but I mean, I guess you can put up Virginia because I wouldn't bet Louisville, but there's so many. I mean, okay, first of all, let's just get to the schedule thing. It says the Virginia schedule, you look at it and you see 133 and you're like, oh, that's not bad. But then you look at you actually look at the schedule and you get teams like Texas and Dayton and NC State and Cal and Stanford that are all like top 100 teams that a lot of these, they just didn't really play. I mean, it's just not impressive. That's all. Like the Ken Pom numbers look great, but like you don't look like everybody that watches college basketball right now kind of already knows that NC State stinks. They're kind of going through some issues right now. So, I mean, and that's all I'm trying to make is that you can say the same thing about some of the other teams that they've played too. Maryland's not good. Texas is, I mean, I guess Texas is coming off the game of the year for them, but against Alabama, but besides that, they were losing to every time they stepped up in competition. So my point is that Virginia's schedule looks really good, but I don't know if it's as good as it looks like. My issue is, 1, I don't think Louisville's that good either. 2, this is like the worst team that you could possibly face if you were Louisville, because what does Virginia do? They slow it down and they play through their defense. They don't want you to get out in fast breaks, and they definitely limit teams to shoot the 3 balls. I think, let me get the exact number, but Louisville, I think number 18 in as far as percentage points of 3-pointers. The Virginia defense 284. So nobody's really scoring as far as a deep ball against this Virginia offense. But the thing that throws me is that I agree with you that it's probably Market's probably already caught up to the number. On top of the fact is if this is going to be a close game, you have a Louisville team that's one of the best free throw shooting teams in the country versus a Virginia team that's one of the worst free throw shooting teams in the country. It's enough to keep me off Virginia, but God, I want to bet them so bad because I really don't think Louisville is that good, but I just can't do it.
11th best 3-point defense.
This
in the
Louisville
country for
team
Virginia.
was just in a pick with Duke. Remember, Toast, you got Duke +2 against Louisville.
I remember.
So literally,
I agree with you.
7 days ago, the market had Louisville and Duke is even on a neutral.
Now, I want to say this though too. Duke is like one of the as far as momentum and playing well, Duke is like one of the worst teams in the country. And that's not me. They're not losing games. I get that, guys. But when you look at like Haslam metrics and Evan Mia and stuff like that, and they rank these teams on momentum and how they're supposed to do versus these bad teams and good teams and whatnot, Duke is like what has some of the worst momentum in the country. Take that for what it is, but Duke's really not playing well. So my point to that is that even that Duke loss isn't really that impressive right now, I guess.
And the argument for the Duke side there was that they were still overvalued in the market. We had just made the same argument in the Stanford game that Louisville was overvalued. So the value is finally coming down to a correct number.
Well, all right. Fine.
Not to mention, I feel like the books have been inflating the home spots, the quote-unquote spots too, because none of these teams are even coming close to getting it done at home or covering.
My issue in my gut, I just feel like everything tells you to bet Virginia, and Louisville comes out on fire from 3 and wins the game by 20. Like that's what I truly think is going to happen in my head.
Public's been cooking.
I don't know if that's going to be a public play, dude. Virginia, I mean, I don't know.
No, it seemed like everybody was taking Virginia.
I was going to say it's Virginia and this game right now, and everybody's going to want to bet Minnesota.
Is that true,
Trevor?
What about Virginia?
We're on Wisconsin, Minnesota.
Wisconsin, Minnesota.
Oh, I thought you said something. Yeah, this is an easy fade. Minnesota. Take the money line. Wisconsin off of the massive Michigan game. They shot lights out in that game. They just seemed to not miss. Outscored them. Michigan had a rough shooting day. They only made 8 threes, so still put up 88 points. Minnesota is gonna slow this down. They're gonna make this game come to a crawl. Wisconsin's gonna regress shooting. I think this is a textbook flat spot for Wisconsin here. Not to mention, Minnesota has caught plenty of teams at the barn this year. It's nothing new. I mean, they got Indiana, they beat Iowa, they went on the road, beat Northwestern. I mean, this is a good team. They played Purdue. I think they had the lead at halftime, or it's like a 2-point game at half before the Avalanche hit. They've been fine. I mean, they lost to Stanford by 4. Santa Clara was an 11-point game. Missouri beat the shit out of them, but whatever. I mean, like, as of now, at home, they're playing really, really good. They've been at home. They're coming off of a loss. Wisconsin off of a miracle win, immediately hitting the road again. I don't see where the success comes from Wisconsin unless they, continue what they were doing on Saturday, shooting the ball. And I don't think that's going to happen. Minnesota's going to slow this down, make it uncomfortable, and it's just something Wisconsin doesn't want to do. So I think it's going to be sloppy. It's going to be ugly. Minnesota's going to come out on top.
Someone in the comments said shit-Conson. Sports scientist Jacob in the comments, Minnesota plus 2.5. He got. Are you saying that's a good thing or bad thing to be on the side?
Everybody I know in the world is on Minnesota. And
so you're saying sports scientist Jacob is a public square?
Let's find out what Spoon does.
I like Minnesota plus 2.5 here. Got the 118 on it. I think Wisconsin is in a terrible spot after that Michigan win. Also just beat UCLA. The value on Wisconsin starting to come up. I think Minnesota is not a team that the public's going to really want to back. They have a 359 non-con. I'm sure you saw that. And they had 4 losses in that 359 non-con. So not very impressive at all. Santa Clara, Stanford, San Francisco. Some pretty tough teams in my opinion. All on back-to-backs. I think this is a spot where you have a Minnesota team just lost in overtime at home to USC. Really good coach Nico Medved, bringing some players over with him like Jalen Crocker-Johnson. I think this is a spot where they can get a win. I'm going to take the 2.5. I was hoping to get a 3, but that doesn't exist, so we have 2.5.
Didn't they play well against UCLA the game before Michigan, though? What if Wisconsin's just turned a corner? Don't you think that's possible?
I'll pay to find out.
On top of the fact you have Minnesota, who's really hot right now in the market, everywhere. I mean, 4th in the country as far as momentum is concerned. I mean, this team has been playing well. I mean, the USC loss in overtime obviously sucked. They probably should have had that one. But prior to that, losing to Purdue on the road, all good with that. Losing to Santa Clara and Stanford on neutrals, all good with that. I mean, and then we're going back into obviously November. But for me, you have a Minnesota team that I don't know, hasn't really done anything impressive at home. And so now you're going to have to really step up huge in competition. I guess the Iowa win was a little bit impressive, but now you're going to have to step up in competition. And everybody's going to say it. There's no way in hell Wisconsin shoots, what's the number? 8 for 14 from 3 from their big guys, yada, yada, yada. But what if TV Jones, what if we live in this crazy world that there's this kid named John Blackwell, and he's starting to find it. And he's starting to put the ball in the bucket. And now we're starting to finally see a Wisconsin team that we thought that was going to be here a month or 2 ago. But now we have Blackwell, who's 26 and 27, or 26 and 17 the last 2 nights, 17 against the UCLA defense that's really good. I think that you could kind of argue, and this probably sounds crazy, I say a lot of crazy shit, that Wisconsin's the undervalued team in this game, not Minnesota. Because I promise you, when we wake up in the morning, you're going to see every single Twitter capper in the world say the same thing, that this is a bad spot for Minnesota or a bad spot for Wisconsin. There's no way they shoot like that again, yada, yada, yada. Yo, give me Wisconsin when it gets down to a pick. It's down 1.5 right now. Give me Wisconsin 115 or better on the money line, and I will have a full unit on the Badgers tomorrow.
Yeah, I agree. Wisconsin.
So UCLA shot 1 for 17 from 3 in the game that they played against Wisconsin. We follow that up with a game where versus Michigan, they shoot almost 50% from 3. Those are 2 outlier performances that really skew the final results that you're basing a lot of the value on. I think Wisconsin's a terrible bet tomorrow.
What do you think this number would have been entering the season?
Can't be that bad because the numbers keeps on going down.
I'm just a dull cran though.
Entering the season in Minnesota, it's probably Badgers minus 7.5, 8.5.
Right. Yeah, I think Wisconsin's the play here.
Not to mention,
They're not a
KenPom
good
has
team.
this number.
So
KenPom has this number 3.
Well,
open.
TV Jones just confirmed what I was thinking. It's entering the season, this would have been about Wisconsin minus 7.5. What I was saying is, I think the beginning of the season, Wisconsin just looked like shit, and now that they're starting to look like the team they were supposed to be, we're getting a discount because of their slow start.
And keep in mind, it's not like Wisconsin has like a whole bunch of bad losses. How many teams are beating BYU on the road on a Barney court? How many teams are going to lose or beat Purdue? How many teams are going to lose to Villanova? I mean,
damn it,
Nebraska,
I kind of want to bet
TCU.
Wisconsin.
I mean, I get that they haven't really been great, and I think the issue with Wisconsin is that they've played bad in these national TV games where a lot of people are betting the games. That's what I think. I truly believe that if they have Blackwell back tomorrow, if they're going to win that game by 10. I truly believe that in my heart of hearts.
Would Blackwell might not play?
No, I'm saying if he continues to play well like he has, because he's been an absolutely nobody for it seems like a while, and now these last 2 games, he's finally starting to play like the wannabe All-American that he should be. The guy that should be shooting 30-some% from deep.
We get
Seems like he has a hard time stringing more than 2 good games together if you look at his stat sheet.
If it gets close to a pick, I'll bet it with you later tonight or tomorrow.
115, I'm in. Give me
minus 115. I'll bet it with you. Toast. Finally, your moment. Blowout. UConn by a lot.
Yeah.
Finally, your moment. Your incorrect take of Seton Hall is overrated that you've been swinging and missing on.
Not incorrect.
Yes, it is. Well, no, it's not that your take is incorrect. It's just you keep incorrectly using it. This is the moment. This is the officially we can look at the line and be like, okay, now the market is overvaluing Seton Hall. Minus 2.5 in Georgetown is not overvalued. That's properly valued. They're not within 5.5 points of Connecticut.
Yeah.
Blowout, right?
I 100% agree. Yeah. I'm not going to move off of my take that Seton Hall is not good and is the luckiest team in basketball because they, again, got Georgetown to piss down their leg. Keep in mind, they were losing that damn near that whole game, dude. So, again, they're taking advantage of teams that don't know how to finish games like Rutgers, Providence, Marquette, Creighton, and Georgetown. If that happens versus UConn, so be it. There's a lot of history with these teams. The games last year were crazy. I just think that UConn is 10 points better than this team on a neutral in Saudi Arabia, in Canada. It doesn't really matter where this game is. So I don't care if it's in Newark. It doesn't really matter. I have a full unit on UConn.
Agreed. UConn. TV Jones?
No, this is Seton Hall, 5.5. I can't believe you're laying 5.5, Toast. That goes against
oh my God,
religion.
I agree
Seton Hall plus the 5.5 in the money line. This is a team that doesn't die. They just hang around. You know, they may be down double digits, but it doesn't matter. They'll get some defensive stops. And Bud Clark, when he's on the floor, difference maker for this team. Completely different team. UConn, you know, let's not forget they lost to a pretty damn bad Seton Hall team like a year or 2 ago. And Seton Hall's just kind of hung around and gave them close games throughout the years. And now this is the best Seton Hall team Shaheen has had. He's got an actual point guard that can run the floor. And they've got dudes. And this is going to be at home. This place is going to be on fire. Seton Hall's look good. Now you got UConn coming in, laying just short little number. Seton Hall's gonna give them hell and get this one done. I think they win this game outright. UConn is due for an L. I mean, you just went to Providence of all places. You had to go to overtime. Seton Hall is fine. This is what they do.
You can't say that UConn's due for a loss and Seton Hall isn't.
That's what Seton Hall's done all year. That's their identity. It's just disgusting.
Lost one game to Arizona.
Yeah, and then almost lost to Providence on the road, and then DePaul was only a 12-point home win. No,
he doesn't care about the net. He said that's why.
Oh, okay, cool. He also said he hates playing Seton Hall because Shaheen always gets the most out of these guys. They always are all up in their shorts. They give them hell. They make everything uncomfortable for them. Seton Hall's going to get this one done. They're covering this number. I think they're alive to win this game outright.
I can assure you, if UConn screws me here, I'll go.
John Bender's in the comments. He says the 5.5 tinfoil hat conspiracy is alive. It sure is. And then Kay also is in the comments and said, Newark, New Jersey, beautiful place. Yeah, if you're trying to get a re-up, maybe. Spoon, what do you think?
Yeah, I think this is a great Connecticut spot. Dan Hurley, kind of in the news recently. That technical foul in that last game got overblown. Some like media posts kind of like running away with it, some false narratives and stuff.
Did you see the interaction with the kid though? From the other team, he was like giving him a hug and telling him good job, but nobody wanted to talk about that. And I hate Hurley, but that was some bullshit. I agree with you.
Heartwarming.
So he's always amped up, but just add a little extra fuel to the fire. I've liked Seton Hall here. I thought they were undervalued, but at this point, I think Connecticut should be laying a bigger number than this. I get the 5.5 minus 105. I was a little uneasy. I saw minus 102 pop pretty quickly after I bet it. So I'm not positive that you don't see a 4.5. So if you're watching this right now and haven't bet it yet, I might wait, but I still like the Connecticut side of this.
I have to wait because I can't bet this game. I can only trade it. So, and Kalshi doesn't have a good number up at the moment. So,
damn.
Oh, rats.
Use Profit X. Can't you like make your own line? Just take UConn minus 9.5. Get a nice plus number on that.
Not New Jersey. Alabama, Mississippi State.
Careful with Profit X.
Careful. Toast, I don't remember exactly what you said, but you said something in the Discord about this game. I just can't remember what you said.
We have a possible nuke.
That's what he said. Nuke? Did you use the word nuke?
I did in capital letters, actually.
Oh my God. All right. What is your quote unquote nuke?
Well, a couple systems that we have in play here. For one, we have the Nate Oates versus the dentist situation. Nate Oates loves going to the dentist. Never had a cavity in his life. Matter of fact, since he's been at Alabama and he's faced the dentist at Mississippi State, 6-1 ATS. Averaging 12 or 13 points a game covering margin. Now you have Alabama off to back-to-back losses. If you wanted to play an over, that's fine. I played over on their last game because obviously, like I've said for 2 or 3 years now, whenever you get Alabama off a loss, you can expect points the next game. And we've seen that hold true the last couple games. And now here, I think that we have a pretty big mismatch here. I know that I love Mississippi State and I love Chris Jans. He's one of my favorite coaches in America. I don't know why, but I just always have respect for this guy. Mississippi State's played a good schedule and all that, but I just think that this is a really bad spot coming for an Alabama team that's due a lot of positive regression for this team. And sooner or later, I just think it's going to come in a hurry. I don't worry about them playing on the road. They've shown the ability over the last few years to play at home and on the road. Alabama, again, has played the toughest schedule in the country. So again, road games already versus St. John's, Illinois, UNLV, and Vanderbilt. All those teams, I think, are in the top 10. Or very close. Well, not St. John's anymore. So, but regardless, this team has been tested at home, on the road, on neutrals. It doesn't really matter. I think Alabama wins this game going away by 10 plus at minimum. Alabama minus the 5.5. This number continues to go down, though. I have not bet it yet because it continues to go down. I don't know why. I honestly do not care.
Sports scientist Jacob. Go ahead.
I can tell you why on that. The official injury reports out. Latrell Wrightsell and Taylor Bowen are both going to be out. Davion Hannah also listed as out. So I think that's going to be baked into it. So
they were out last game too.
Just to correct, Wrightsell and Bowen both played last game, or at least Bowen did.
That was out. I'm pretty sure. So now
Cheryl?
I'll look and see who played.
For Bama?
Texas, 258.
What are the names?
Wrightsell didn't play last game.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was going to say. I knew their point guard didn't play.
So that's two rotation players that are going to be out. I think Alabama's a better team than what Mississippi State is. I think Bama's in a good spot after that loss to go out there and score points. But I just have a few question marks around who's going to be out there. I think playing on the road in conference is always tough, and especially when you got to put some new players added. new roles, kind of playing out a character can lead to extra turnovers, and I just don't want to get involved with it.
Scott Davis says, which bloodbath is going to be worse, Alabama or UConn? The answer is UConn.
UConn.
TV Jones says no. TV Jones, what do you think of this one?
I like an under here. I know it's Bama. It's scary. Mississippi State, though, when they've played up in competition, a lot of these games have gone under. Oklahoma at home, 72-53 win. They did play Texas on the road, went to overtime, 101-98. But Memphis, 71-66. SMU, 87-81 with overtime. New Mexico, 80-78. Kansas State, 98-77, still went under. Iowa State, they gave up 96. This game still went under, 96-80. This number's just a tad high. I think this ends somewhere around in the 160s, 177, just too high. It's just Bama, and they're just like, all right, throw a fat number up there. But Mississippi State has shown they don't want to run and gun and play fast paced with you with these up tempo teams. They have no problem slowing it down a little bit. So I'll take the under 177.5 in this Bama game.
The poll, 35 people have voted, 83% to 6% Alabama. That means if everyone voted the poll, only one person clicked Mississippi State. Oh, someone else just clicked Mississippi State. There's two now.
And that Sherrell kid missed the Vanderbilt game. I was wrong there. That's what it was.
Sure.
I knew that they had both missed the last couple of days.
Sherrell played in the Texas game. I'm looking at it. He didn't play in the Vanderbilt game.
The game before that or whatever it was. Yeah.
And Bowen had a double-double in that Texas game.
Well, yeah, it was 92-98. Everybody had 10 points.
Yeah, Bo Bowen, he had 11 points, 10 rebounds.
Yeah, 3-point sniper.
That was a double-double.
Sniper.
That is, in fact, a double-double. Thank you, Trevor.
True facts.
No problem.
That's why they pay him the big bucks. Next up. Why is this number so short? I thought Oklahoma State was bad.
Baylor sucks.
Oh. Yep.
So you're going to take Baylor? Wait, you're going to take Baylor to lose here in Stillwater?
Hell yeah, I am.
Wow. All right, I'm intrigued. I'm listening.
Yeah. Oklahoma State is a good team compared to what they have been. I mean, they're 13-3 this year. The losses are Iowa State, Texas Tech, Oklahoma. And Texas Tech shot lights out, lost the game by 22. Iowa State, they covered, lost by 12, though, at home. On the road. Now they're back home getting a Baylor team that's just lost 3 straight and 2 back-to-back home games. I know it was Houston.
To who, though?
I said Houston and Baylor. Relax.
It's Iowa State at Houston.
Or Iowa State, Houston, whatever.
And TCU, who's also awesome.
Thank you.
Trevor, this is crazy. Cool. You're being crazy right now.
Yeah, go ahead. Baylor playing a just measly old Oklahoma State, laying 1.5. Great bounce back spot on the road. Stillwater's a weird place to travel. Steve Lutz has got these guys playing good ball. Anthony Roy, ever heard of him? He's going to go bananas tomorrow. I just don't think this Baylor team is good. I backed them in the Iowa State game. They fell through. I should have bet Houston. Houston murdered them. I'm not saying Oklahoma State's going to keep them down, but I don't think Baylor has the offense to really hang around. Congrats, you put up 113 and 111 on Southern and Alcorn State, and then 110 on Sacramento State. But anytime they've stepped up, they've really struggled. You beat Washington, cool. Lost to St. John's. You beat Creighton. Lost to Memphis, and then TCU, Iowa State, Houston, all beatdowns. I'm not saying Oklahoma State's defense is elite, but their offense is incredible, and I think Baylor's not going to be able to keep up, especially on the road as Stillwater on a random Tuesday. So give me Steve Lutz. This will also be a huge win for Steve Lutz in this program, beating Baylor at home. They're going to be up and ready for this game. Just remember the name, Anthony Roy and Victorious Miller. They are coming for your ass tomorrow, Scott Drew.
Anthony Roy, how many teams has he been on? 17 the last 4 years?
Dude's a baller.
Yeah, he's so good. He plays like a half a season for each team.
Spoon, can you tell TV Jones that this is going to close at -3.5, please?
Yeah, Baylor's the clear side in this one for me. We look at Scott Drew. This guy's been coaching at Baylor since 2003. The last time he opened up the season 0-4 in conference was 2006. And in 2006, Baylor was facing sanctions from a mess with the former coach. So I was just not going to bring it up. But so that was an outlier season. That's the only time. Scott Drew's one of the best coaches in America. Off 3 straight losses, he's got an Oklahoma State team that I think played Iowa very tough, and I think that makes this number short. I think that's part of it. I think people are also just where TV Jones is at with Baylor. This is a bad team, but I think they're getting better as the season goes on. They just added that foreign player into the roster there, so I think Baylor's a good spot here. I got the money line -120.
Sports scientist Jacob is also on Baylor in the comments.
And fake sharp play of the day, Baylor and a bounce back.
We're actually polling Oklahoma State though, 52%, 39%. So there's
compelling arguments.
There's a lot of people in the comments taking Oklahoma State. TWD's crazy ass is on Oklahoma State in there.
Yeah, I wanted to.
They just don't agree with you guys' arguments. I was the most compelling.
I don't think that Oklahoma. I don't think Oklahoma State is terrible. I mean, their schedule's pretty good. They've actually played a really consistent schedule over the course of the year. It's a top 100 schedule, so no, you're not going to hear anything about that from me. For me, I don't know. It's kind of a coin flip. It would be under a pass for me. I don't really want to pick a side because you can make the same case for Baylor. I mean, St. John, the Memphis loss, it is what it is. But I mean, St. John's, TCU, Iowa State, Iowa. I mean, most of those teams are going to lose. I mean, 3 of the 4 of those games, if not more, or 4 of the 4. So I don't really put too much stock in there. I think these teams are very, very similar. I think that Baylor's obviously a little bit better coached, and they're probably just a little bit better in general. So I'll lean to them. But this one's really hard for me. It would be under or pass, but I don't really want to get involved.
This closes at -3.5.
I don't think it moves that far.
Oklahoma State. Did you hear what Trevor said? Nonsensical.
Yeah, we'll find out tomorrow. I'll be right here.
I'll be right here.
And just for the record, if there's any Anthony Roy haters up there or supporters, I know that he's been hurt. I just remember him from San Francisco, and he's been done nothing for
He was a Don?
He was at one point. I don't know where he's been the last few years.
A game last year. He averaged 27 a game last year.
Wasn't he hurt all year?
No, he padded his stats, and then he had a foot injury, and then hit the portal the first day it was open and went to Oklahoma State.
That's what I'm saying. I was like,
healthy since.
He's been on 4 different college basketball teams.
That's what I'm saying. I was exaggerating, obviously, but
all right.
AJ Storr walks so Anthony Roy could run.
Do you think the Sooners can play him tough here in Norman? This is another game nobody checked. I added this one, so
I didn't check it. That's a mistake on my part. I have a whole soliloquy.
Oh no, you did. I'm sorry, you did check it. It's the Georgetown Creighton game. Oh no, you didn't check it. But go ahead.
My apologies. Thank you for saving the day. Thank you for saving the day, Kyle, as per usual. Florida -4.5, 5.5. Don't really care. Gonna make a statement right now, so get ready to comment. Go ready to comment, guys, because I read them so much. I think Florida's the most underrated team in the country right now. That nobody's talking about.
We've gone full hot take.
A little bit. But let's just take a look at the losses for Florida. Arizona on a neutral, pretty good loss. Duke on the road, pretty good loss. UConn on the road, or semi-away, whatever you want to call it, pretty good loss. TCU on a neutral by 4, pretty decent loss. The Missouri loss by 2 on the road, not really excusable. I won't call that a good loss at all, but excusable. You're going to lose a conference game on the road, especially the first one. It is what it is. But going back since that UConn game over the last month, Florida's been a top 7 team in the country per Bartovic. And the funny thing is that if you look that what you usually have is that you have a Florida team that we know, especially from the last couple of years, that offense isn't a problem, and especially the 3-ball isn't a problem. The 3-ball has been a problem this year. There's no question about that. And if you look on Bartovic and you through the last month, like I did and stuff, you'll see a whole bunch of teams that are really, obviously really good and have been really good for last month. Arizona, Purdue, Illinois, Vandy, Michigan, Houston, Virginia, UConn, Iowa State, Utah State, Iowa, regardless. The common theme is that all those teams shoot, call it 34% to be safe. I think Virginia's at 31, but almost everybody else is shooting 34% or better from 3-point distance. You know what Florida's shooting right now, guys? 28% from deep. It's just really, really not good. And my point to that is that I think that the reason that I think they're underrated is I think you're going to start to see these guys start making some shots. Boogie Fland shot 34% last year from behind the arc at Arkansas. He's shooting 21% this year. Xavier Lee, a smart kid from Princeton, you know what he knows what he's doing, shot 36% last year from behind the arc from Clemson, or for Princeton, excuse me. He's shooting 26% this year. If Florida just has these guys making a couple shots a game, their value is going to increase dramatically. The free throw shooting is an issue, yeah, but I do think that's going to continue to get better if these guys start to shoot better from behind the arc. They're one of the biggest teams in the country that's played one of the hardest schedules in the country, that has one of the most experienced teams in the country. I know that they don't have the big names that they had last year, whether it be Walter Clayton or Elijah Martin or whatever, but Alex Condon is a really good basketball player. Thomas Haw is a really good basketball player, and Boogie Fland has his moments. So I bet, like I said, all in all, I bet Florida. I think they're clearly the better team. Oklahoma really hasn't played a great schedule, and the teams that they have played are kind of mediocre at best, that have bumped their schedule up, like Texas A&M, Mississippi State, Arizona State, Nebraska. I mean, those teams are mediocre. Congratulations, Nebraska. You're having the best year of your lives. You're still a 9 seed. That's not a great, and it's not impressive to me. I'm sorry if you're Oklahoma and I'm looking at their schedule. It's just not. So regardless, I think Florida wins by a blowout. I'm done.
By blowout in Norman.
10 plus.
What are your thoughts, TV Jones?
Yeah, that was a whole bunch of tomfoolery right there from Toast. Florida is not winning by 5.5. That is a reflection of beating Tennessee by 20, almost 25 points. Let's not forget Tennessee killed them by 20 the last time they played in Knoxville. So it was a revenge spot. I mean, decent amount of minutes and guys back from last year's team, so they remember that. But you just beat Georgia at home. You beat Tennessee at home. Now you got to go play the road Oklahoma before you get Vanderbilt, the one they really have circled. Oklahoma off of back-to-back road losses, finally back home. This is a spot I like Porter Moser in Oklahoma to keep this close. They've got dudes, they've got guys. Florida can't shoot, and all of a sudden halfway through the season in conference play now is when they're going to start hitting threes again. They're not hitting threes. It's just not their year. Regression. And I like this Oklahoma team. I think they're playing good ball. They're coming home off of back-to-back road losses. And Florida hitting the road after beating Georgia and Tennessee at home. Now they're going to lay that beautiful 5.5 number. No, thank you. Oklahoma's going to cover this game. I think they win outright. But I'm definitely going to be on that 5.5.
Wow. I guess Spoon has to break the tie.
I'm not going to have a bet in this game. I like Florida here. One thing about being the national champion is you get everybody's best punch, and they played a 40th non-con in the country. So they played a lot of really good teams. Yeah, they have some losses to Arizona, TCU, Duke, Connecticut, Missouri. I think this team is starting to find itself a little bit more as the season goes on. I don't really like the spot, though. Oklahoma's coming off 2 losses on the road. They're coming home. And just like every other team that Florida's played, you're still going to get Oklahoma's best punch. I think 5.5 is probably about accurate. There's not a huge edge there. I think Florida wins this game. I just don't think it's by more than 3 possessions. And if I can't get there, I don't really want to lay the 5.5.
We're polling heavy on Florida. 62 votes, which there's 500 people watching at 1 a.m. right now. We got quite the group of degenerates here. I love it. 63 votes, 73% picking Florida to 14% on Oklahoma. So TV Jones is on a Sooner Island.
Damn. Hate when that happens.
I don't like anything there. It's a cool game too, but
I wrote a whole page of notes thinking you're going to tail me. This is bullshit.
Well, you can't just
Not
write
compelling.
notes. Yeah, it has to be something compelling. Georgetown Creighton. This is another one I added. And we need to talk about Oregon, Nebraska. I think you take Oregon here, and I've been the Nebraska guy.
Yeah, KenPom has it. What? Okay, we'll get there. Never mind.
No, we don't. We don't have graphics for it.
Well, I meant after this game. Are these games?
Or
do you just want to talk about it right now? Either way.
No, Georgetown Creighton. I have the poll up already. I don't think I could bet Georgetown. I need some time to mentally reflect. I bet them against DePaul, and the last few minutes of that game just made me question a lot about myself as well as Georgetown, the team. That was so bad. That was so bad. The last few minutes of that DePaul game. So
Same thing with Seton Hall.
Seton Hall. I had it on the small TV. I didn't watch it that closely.
They were winning for like 80% of that game.
No, but the way they lost to DePaul was
Georgetown didn't get a field goal in the last 10 minutes. They scored 5 points in the last 10 minutes of the basketball game.
It was so bad.
Yeah. Against Seton Hall, they lost by 15 points in the last 10 minutes.
They do that big guy, though, who just absolutely blocks everything.
What do you think about this?
Could you say his name again for me, TV Jones?
The big guy on Iwi Choo.
All right.
Let's call him Vince. Let's just call him Vince.
Vince sounds good.
Vince.
Any of you guys? I checked this one. Any of you guys want to take?
Yeah, I still want to bet Georgetown here. I don't think I'm actually going to get there. It's more of a pace thing. I think that Creighton's going to be able to control the pace, and I think that we're going to see kind of like limited possessions in this game. Personally, I don't know. Creighton's starting to grow on me just a little bit. I don't know. It is what it is, but it would still only be Georgetown for me. I don't think we're going to see a whole bunch of scoring and possessions in this game. I think Creighton's going to handle them pretty well, but as far as running away with it and winning by double digits, I think is asking a lot. But
either you guys have thoughts? I just threw this one in here. If you guys are passing, that's cool. No worries.
It would be Creighton at home off the St. John's loss by 17. Now you get Georgetown coming in. Traveling home from Creighton, from Seton Hall, they go play Creighton, and they fly back and play UConn. It's kind of a weird spot for them. Georgetown, I was kind of high on, but they haven't showed me anything really this year. So I'll take Creighton to bounce back at home after getting embarrassed at home.
I mean, yeah, if you've watched the last two games, it's really hard to bet Georgetown.
Any thoughts, Spoon, or should we talk Nebraska real quick?
So it's Georgetown. Ed Cooley. He's a really good coach, in my opinion. One of my favorite hits last year in the college basketball season was Martin Luther King Day versus Providence.
What a game.
I think they were a 9.5 point dog. Didn't bother with the points. Took the money line. They won by 20 points. When I was doing research for that game, I noticed that Ed Cooley has never lost on Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and his teams always start to get up right around it.
Is that true? He's never lost on Martin Luther King Day.
So they don't play on the 19th this year. I already checked at the beginning of the season. But I just think this is a spot where Georgetown's going to start finding themselves. It's hard to buy on this team right now after the DePaul game we're talking about. They played poorly versus Seton Hall too. And Creighton's, a lot of people would say, a better team than Seton Hall. Once Seton Hall kind of comes down to cools off a little bit, Creighton will probably be above them in the standings. And I just think this is a good Georgetown spot. I haven't been able to pull the trigger yet either, but this is the time of year I want to start betting Ed Cooley.
All right. Now
it's kind of like a later game or a little bit later. So if we're up a little bit and Georgetown gets to like 11.5, maybe I throw some shekels on there. You know what I'm saying? But that's
so, guys.
And it's Georgetown. Like,
I've been pretty adamant. I don't have graphics for this game, but I'm putting the poll up. Nebraska, Oregon. Oregon catching 10.5. I've been pretty adamant. I've been making fun of Toast for doubting Nebraska. It wasn't because I thought Nebraska was the best team in the world or anything. It's because the market wasn't reflecting how well they were playing. Now they're laying 10.5 to Oregon. You sell.
Ken Pom has it 13. So
I don't care. You sell here, right?
Talk to those guys. Let's see what they have to say. Everybody knows my opinions on this game.
What do you think, Spoon?
So Oregon is still missing Jackson Shelstad right now. This team kind of looks broken without him, and I don't really know how to accurately handicap them. The Rutgers and Ohio State game, they didn't play the way I really thought they would in either of those games, and it wouldn't blow me away to see Nebraska overperform expectations one more time, but I'm not going to be betting this game. If I was forced to, it would probably be just buying low on Oregon, but I can't find the faith right now without Shelstad.
Yeah. TV Jones, anything, or should we move on to Iowa State in the fog?
Oh, I got a couple things to say.
I'm sure you do.
I kind of agree with you with Oregon. I've been fading this Nebraska team, but off a big road win at Assembly Hall after down 12, now you got to fly home. Oregon traveling, but they're not traveling, too terribly far here. they've got size to bang. I mean, Biddle likes to step out too, so I think he can kind of take away rank mast a little bit. But I mean, and Nebraska is not a big get to the rim and take 2-point shots kind of team. If they have a 3, they're going to take it. I think Oregon can find a way to hang around, but I'm not putting my money on Oregon to do good things. So Oregon, no bet.
All right, Toes, what are your thoughts on this Nebraska team?
No, I'm not going to go crazy because it is what it is. But I didn't bet the Indiana game, guys. So I'm still up money fading this Nebraska team as far as with the points. So just to make that very clear. I just wanted to point out that Nebraska again played nobody in the non-cons, and then they've started to play a little bit now with Wisconsin, Illinois, and whatnot. But again, they're having outlier performances, whatever you want to look at. And my only point to that is that you have an Oregon team that I 100% agree with Spoon that without Shellstad, it really pumps the brakes on everything. But at the same time, if there's only a handful of coaches that I think can figure that out, and Dana Altman would be on that list. They've also been tested on the road, at home. It doesn't really matter. And speaking about Oregon, by the way, Auburn, San Diego State, Creighton, USC, UCLA, Gonzaga. So multiple times they've been tested. So I don't know. I just feel like it's a lot of points. Like I said, KenPom has this 13. Obviously it's at 10.5 now. So it's just showing you the market still really doesn't respect Nebraska that much. Or at least the bookmakers don't, excuse me. So I want Oregon. I was hoping to get like 14. So when I saw the 10.5, I was kind of crazy, but give me like a full 4 possessions at like 12 or something. If this gets sped up, I'll be in on Oregon.
Someone in a super chat paid $10 to say, everybody's going to be on Oregon plus 10. Fade the public. Dude, Nebraska is 16-0 against an 8-8 Oregon team that lost 2 in a row. It's going to be the most popular bet on the board. Like, there's no one going to be taking Oregon.
And that's okay because they've been winning. I mean, we just saw it.
It doesn't matter where the public is anyway. It's meaningless, but it's definitely not going to be on Oregon.
I just didn't want them to not bet Nebraska.
KenPom also has us 13, and the books just listed us at 10.5, 10. I think Oregon's. I can't explain how. Maybe Nebraska finally has a cold shooting night, but Oregon's going to find.
You already know it's coming. We're gonna get Dana Altman a Rubik's Cube tweet. Oregon money line. It's going to be a great night in Twitter. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's true.
True or false, Trevor? The fog is dead.
True. Fog is trash. Iowa State in a blowout. Iowa State in a blowout. This is a team that went up to Purdue.
Blowout.
Yeah, this is a team that went up to Purdue and won by 30. The fog is nothing. We've seen Kansas look super good. Dropped a UCF game on the road, then they just lost to West Virginia on the road. Now you're traveling back home. I mean, they needed a miracle to beat TCU at home here. Iowa State coming off of Oklahoma State. They got Cincinnati on deck. No real look at. They've been fine on the road. Again, beat Baylor by 10 on the road. Beat Purdue by 20, 23, whatever, 24. Kansas, this is a Kansas respect line, or a bait line, by catching points. They should be catching 7.5 points because Iowa State is going to kill them. Otzelberger and company do not care where they play anybody, anytime, any place, anywhere. They show up, they get it done. They're healthy. Darren Peterson, if he plays, he'll probably play 18 minutes and then start to cramp up again, and then he won't be seen the rest of the game. This is Iowa State in a blowout. If the fog shows up for once, so be it. But this Iowa State team is battle-tested, gone on the road, and got it done convincingly in multiple spots. So I will gladly take Iowa State here.
The fog's going to claim an undefeated team in this one.
Nope.
I have a full unit on Iowa State as well.
What number did you get?
3.5. Pretty much, I guess the same as Trevor, unfortunately. But I do think that this, obviously Iowa State's a little bit underrated. And the only reason I say this is because nobody seems to talk about them like one of the best teams in the country. I just don't really feel like I hear them as much. And
what do you mean underrated? They're laying 4 in Kansas. That's pretty highly rated.
And Kansas is not even a top 25 basketball team. So
they will be after they win this. I'm betting the money line.
No.
I think he just means like the court of public opinion. Like we hear people talk about like Duke and stuff so much more when we look at Iowa State's.
And for me, it's like a heel turn because I've been an Iowa State hater. I just haven't really enjoyed it. But now this year, it seems like they're just kind of under the radar. And this team is really, really good. And I'm going to be making pretty much all the same points when I talked about them going on the road to play Baylor. And that number, I bet them at 5.5. The number went against me. I think it got all the way down to 3.5, if not worse. And it was wrong then. And I think it's wrong here now. I mean, first and foremost, I will give you that Iowa State only played 2 true road games, and that was Baylor and Purdue. Obviously, they won both those games by double digits, and they didn't play like the greatest schedule out when they went to Las Vegas with St. John's, Creighton, and Syracuse. But I mean, Iowa's a top 25 team. That's a pretty decent team as well. So my point to that is that they've been tested multiple times and they've came out on top. I also think that they're going to be one of these few teams, a handful of teams that are going to be vying for a number 1 seed, and they have to win these games by margin because even though Mr. Hurley doesn't care about the net, and this is the same guy that obviously started crying after he lost to Colorado and Maui, and they'll never do an MTE again. But regardless, I'm just saying, like, that's the same guy. But you have this Kansas team that, I mean, at what point have they looked good? I mean, their best win is an NC State team that we've talked about multiple times tonight on this show that's not very good. That Will Wade come over, there's a lot of hype, yada, yada, yada. But, I mean, in the Tennessee game was on a neutral in Vegas, and that was a game that Tennessee literally pissed down their leg, and they lost that game in the last 10 minutes by I think 10 or 15 points or something like that. I don't remember exactly what the number was, but regardless is they probably should have lost that game as well. So and not to mention the fact that what are we doing with Darian Peterson? He's probably one of the best players in the country. I don't think that anybody's going to argue that, but do we even know if he's going to play? I mean, I'm kind of joking he's going to play tomorrow, but if this game goes to overtime, is he going to play? If this game's close in the last 5 minutes, is he going to play? We don't know. And if that's the case, give me Iowa State minus the 3.5. Like I said, I've already bet it. I think Iowa State's one of the, at least in the market and the perception, is one of the more underrated teams in the country.
Spoon, Kansas money line. Are you in?
So this is a really tough, fun game. Iowa State, Bill Self, have gone back and forth now for quite a few years. Otzelberger's been there at Iowa State since 2022, I believe. And Self really owned that rivalry to start. It was a 1-4 advantage, or Iowa State went 1-4 versus Kansas. But last couple of years, Iowa State started to get back into the rivalry a little bit more. One thing, Otzelberger's never won on the road at the Phog. He's had a 2-point game. He's had a 1-point game. It's a really tough building, but if we look at the past years and the teams that Kansas had and the teams that Iowa State had, this is the best shot that he's ever had to go into the Phog and win. And I think this is a nice signature win. He can hang on the mantle for the season. I think this is a really good team. I think it's the best defense in the country. I do think they're a little underrated. This number at 4, I don't think it'll go too much further. I have the 3.5 minus 110.
You're on Iowa State?
I like Iowa State a lot here.
Oh my god! All right, I just bet Kansas money line. This is the Phog. This is the resurgence of the Phog.
I almost fell into that trap on Saturday versus West Virginia, but I was like, you know what?
That wasn't at the Phog.
It was in West. It was in
Morgantown.
I'm well aware. I'm just saying. I
Doesn't
almost
sound
fell
like
into
you
the
are.
trap. I'm almost fell into the trap of betting Kansas at a good number, and I didn't do it. I feel really happy about it.
Kansas wins this outright. All right, poll heavy Iowa State there.
Sharps.
Maryland USC. Is this a hotel game, Spoon?
Clearly, they have some of the best hotels in the country out there, Southern California. So,
so not a factor.
I think Maryland's gonna.
Oh yeah.
Huh?
So not hotel, not a factor here.
Yeah, it's a factor. They're too nice. Maryland's not sure what to do with this.
Avocado toast instead of bacon and eggs at the continental breakfast because it's in LA.
You play a soft basketball game after avocado
They're
toast.
not getting no continental breakfast. They're getting a little bit better than that.
I don't have a real take in this one. I really like USC. If I had to place a bet, it would be USC minus the 9, but its number's kind of big. I don't know. Maybe Maryland can find a way to backdoor it, so I won't be in there.
TV Jones, any thoughts, or should I move on to the NBA?
Yeah, I like USC. Coming off that Minnesota overtime win, but three East Coast Midwest games, and now you're coming home. Maryland just lost to UCLA by 12. Now they got to play USC, who's coming in pretty pissed off. I just don't think this Maryland team's very good. I think this is a ridiculously high number with USC for a reason. I think they blow them out. Finally back at home, you can take advantage of a Maryland team that's young, inexperienced, and just kind of overall not a Buzz Williams roster just because he got there late and didn't really get to hit the portal. So kind of a mishmash of guys here. I'm not saying USC is an amazing team, but this is a great spot for them to come home, drill Maryland. Maryland, just lost by 12 to UCLA. I think USC would beat UCLA anyway. So 9 points. I think this line's telling you that the USC drums them, and Maryland isn't very competitive in this game.
Toast?
Hate to see that. Terps up for me. I'm going to let this number get bet up here. Look,
Is that
First of all-
is that injured guy back for the Terps?
no, doesn't matter.
Pain.
It
Because-
does matter because they're terrible without him.
No, because they just played a UCLA team that's so much more are defensively better than this USC team. I would argue night and day. And they're going to be, regardless of what the numbers tell you, but regardless, you have a USC team that we just talked about. With the hotel gate and stuff, they were out on the West Coast or the East Coast for 3 months. And now they have to fly all the way back across the country and play Maryland. And what nobody mentioned is that Maryland's been hanging out on the West Coast. They've been hanging out in UCLA and by the Galen Center in LA. So there's no travel spot for Maryland. You could make an argument they're more travel adjusted. And as far as USC is concerned, winning or laying points with this team, I just think is a death sentence. So at no point this year have they shown the ability to win games by margin. Again, I will give you that Maryland is kind of a step down in competition. USC's played one of the tougher schedules in the country, but I still think that laying multiple possessions with this team is a death sentence.
All right. I'm going to talk some NBA. Gentlemen, thank you for hanging around. It's 1:22 a.m., 600 or 570 in here. Wow, appreciate it. I'm going to talk some NBA. You guys enjoy your night.
Sounds
Toast,
good.
toast.
Later.
Toast, when you do the timestamps, make sure you include the Nebraska game.
Yes, sir. Okay.
NBA. All right, first game up, Phoenix on the road in Miami. I bet this one. Kind of a, I don't want to say an obvious one because none of them are obvious, but the decision was easy for me to arrive at, I suppose. I think the Suns should be laying 3 here based on the way they've played recently. One sec. So this Suns team is a wagon right now. They're 10-3 in their last 13, 12-1 against the spread. Jordan Ott is looking like the man right now. So the Suns went with a big name coach the last couple of years. They tried Frank Vogel out and Budenholzer. Then they hired Jordan Ott. It's his first year with the Suns. He's never been a head coach before. So it's kind of like they went the opposite direction. Instead of going with the big name coach, they gave Jordan Ott, who was an assistant, a shot. And this team, the way they're playing right now, they're one of the best defensive teams in the NBA right now. That's not really what we think of when we think of the Devin Books Suns, an elite defensive team. This team's a top 5 defensive team in the NBA right now. A ton of ball movement. We're seeing a lot less Devin Booker isolation. They're playing great basketball right now. You want to know how well things are going for the Suns right now? Get this. So right now the conversation is, this is what the Suns' problem is. Jalen Green's about to return from injury, and they don't know what they're going to do with him because that would make them 11 deep. That's a good problem to have when you have a player like Jalen Green returning from injury, and the problem is, well, how are we going to fit him in? That means things are going pretty well. Suns are playing great right now. Like I said, they're playing elite defensively. They're the best defensive team in the NBA in the last 10 games, 5th on the full season. Now, Miami's playing some defense as well. Miami's defense starting to come around, but I just don't know if I can trust Miami to score points right now. In the last 10 games, the Heat are 26th in offensive efficiency. So I don't know if I can trust Miami to score at the moment. The Suns lead the NBA in steals. Literally lead the NBA, 10.6 steals per game. And this is a Miami team that's having problems protecting the basketball right now. The Suns defense puts a ton of pressure on the perimeter. the Heat can't seem to hang on to the ball, the way the Suns are playing defense, the way the Heat are playing offense. They got Tyler Hero back, so I'm sure at some point the Heat will come around offensively. But in their last 3 games, they have a 92.5 offensive rating. Just to give you an idea, the worst offense in the NBA is the Sacramento Kings. They have a 108.5 offensive rating. In the last 3 games, the Miami Heat have been terrible offensively. Now, Tyler Hero came back 3 games ago. Maybe they just need an adjustment. It's only 3 games. You don't want to overreact. Maybe it'll come around eventually. But Norman Powell might not even play in this game. He missed the Oklahoma City game. He's listed as questionable. Yeah, I'm on the Suns here. I got Suns +1. It looks like you could still get it. So both my NBA bets, I don't know if there's something. Oh, no, the other one moved. Okay, good. So you could still get this. I don't really understand. In fact, it looks like you can get Phoenix +1.5 right now. I don't understand why. I don't know if there's something I'm missing. I suppose the counter argument to this would be that the Suns have played a lot of games at home recently. So maybe you're thinking, oh, well, the Suns are overvalued right now because they've played so many home games. I suppose that would be the counter argument. But yeah, where the hell? Why do I not have Suns graphics? Oh, there we go. So yeah, I'm on Suns +1. This is actually, I think I have this exact bet that's on the screen. Spurs, Oklahoma City, round 4. Spurs, Oklahoma City. This number is, I think, 7.5 right now. Yeah. This is a tough one. Obviously, if you've been following the NBA, you know that Oklahoma City has not quite looked like themselves recently. They're still getting priced as by far the best team in the NBA. That's not really how they're playing. But we'll start with the Spurs. No Devin Vassell. He's still going to be out. And we are finally seeing the effects of that. If you look at the last 6 games, they're 3-3. But look at their offensive rating. The Spurs are having trouble getting shots to fall right now. They really could use a sell back. Actually, the Spurs dead last in the NBA in effective field goal percentage since January 1st. So the Spurs have gone ice cold from 3. They really could use Devin Vassell back. They kind of were treading water there when he got hurt. They were making it work. It's starting to look like they're really missing this guy. So still no Devin Vassell, and we're finally seeing the Spurs offense start to feel it. Now, on the defensive side of the ball, as long as Wembanyama's playing, they're great. And Wembanyama's playing. So I still trust the Spurs defensively, but on the offensive side of the ball, we're finally seeing the Spurs start to miss Vassell, especially when it comes to shooting the outside shot. The threes are not falling for the Spurs right now. So going on the road to Oklahoma City, we know Oklahoma City's had their share of problems, and we're going to talk about it, but this is still a defense I trust. And specifically, where is Oklahoma City's defense the weakest? Against the 3-ball. They've one of the least efficient 3-point defenses in the NBA. Well, in the last 10 games, the Spurs are dead last in 3-point efficiency. So I don't know if without Vassell, if I trust the Spurs to exploit the Thunder's defense from the perimeter like they did earlier in the year and like other teams have. So I think Oklahoma City can play a great defensive game here. Now, we know Oklahoma City is having all kinds of problems right now. Still no Hartenstein. Jalen Williams is back, though. Alex Caruso was banged up. He's now back. So as a whole, they are healthier. They are healthier than they were, I guess, the last couple weeks, you could say. But yeah, if you've been betting on Oklahoma City, you're not doing well. They're 5-10 against the spread in their last 15 games. The offense has been so inconsistent. The Hornets held Oklahoma City to 97 points. They shot 18% from 3 against the Utah Jazz, who are probably one of the worst 3-point defenses in the NBA. Obviously, as I'm sure you know, this Spurs team has kind of bodied Oklahoma City 3 times. Well, twice. The first time was really close. The Spurs came back. But here's Oklahoma City's offensive and defensive metrics in the 3 Spurs games. Here's the thing. I like Oklahoma City's defense in this one. I think they're going to play a great defensive game. I agree with the movement. When I was first looking at this game, there were 6.5s available. Obviously, there was actually a 6 at Caesars, and I was considering grabbing it. I like Oklahoma City in this one, and I bet the Spurs in all 3 of the first. I've been on the Spurs every time. I think Oklahoma City really keeps the Spurs offense in check. I think the Spurs offense hasn't looked good recently, and I really think the Spurs could have a really poor offensive game here. So don't bet -8 I'm not even betting the -7.5. I should have taken the -6 earlier. Maybe at some point later tonight or tomorrow that 6 flashes again, and I'll consider it. But as of right now, it's just Oklahoma City or pass. I think they look elite defensively in this one. All right. Bulls, Rockets. I think we're looking at a blowout here. Dog walk of the day. I was really close to grabbing it. There were 11.5s. It's at 12.5 now. I agree with the movement up. This is not a game I bet, but I really think this is a good game for the Rockets to finally look strong. The Rockets have not looked all that great recently. So hold on, let me get some Rockets Bulls. Okay, so the Rockets have not looked all that great recently. Actually, both of these teams are 5-5 in their last 10. You would think like, oh, the Rockets are playing well and the Bulls look like shit. They're actually both 5-5 in their last 10. And actually, the Rockets are 25th in strength of schedule in the last 10, 27th on the season. So the Rockets have had a pretty favorable schedule, and they still don't look all that great recently. But the lead story with the Rockets the last, 3 or 4 games, however many it was no Şengün. Şengün is now back. And the Rockets defense was fine. Well, was fine. It was the Rockets offense that we couldn't trust without Şengün, because without Şengün, they're so reliant on Kevin Durant. If Kevin Durant's shots aren't falling, they just really couldn't generate points. So with Şengün back, I'm inclined to trust the Rockets defense a little bit more. Problem is, no Tari Eason. Dorian Finney-Smith, I believe, is out. I put him out in this graphic. I think he's out. So, yeah, and we just saw the Rockets play a game with Şengün back. So Şengün came back. The Rockets played one game against the Kings. They got smoked on the road in Sacramento, a 129-1 defensive rating. So they played a terrible defensive game, which is not what we've seen. Kind of looks more like an outlier. The thing is, the Bulls are a mess right now. There's no offensive consistency from this team. Remember, they're still missing their two leading scorers in Giddey and Kobe White. Kobe White came back, and I think Kobe White is actually now healthy. He's going to sit, from what I'm reading, he's going to sit out this game and then play against the Jazz tomorrow. The Bulls are on the first leg of a back-to-back. So Kobe White, I believe, is sitting out this game, and then he's going to play in the game against the Jazz tomorrow. Without those two guys, the offense is so inconsistent, mostly bad. I would imagine the Bulls' only shot of keeping this game competitive is to run, because if Houston forces them into a half-court basketball game and forces the Bulls to try to play half-court offense on the road in Houston against Houston's defense, just not going to work out. We just saw two perfect examples. So these are two of the Bulls' last 3 games. We saw the Celtics and Pistons force the Bulls to play half-court basketball. Super slow pace. Don't let them run. Make them play in the half-court. And the Bulls looked terrible in both games. Without Josh Giddey, without Kobe White, if you force this team to play half-court basketball, they're awful. And that's exactly what the Rockets do. They're the slowest-paced team in the NBA. So the Rockets are going to do, in my opinion, exactly what the Pistons and Celtics did. Force this team to play half-court basketball. Set up your offense, slow the game down, don't let them run. And if the Rockets do that, which is what they pretty much always do, this should be a comfortable win for Houston. The Bulls' only chance is to turn this game into chaos and just run, and they weren't able to do that in the Boston game. I think this is Rockets in a blowout. This is not one that I bet. Why are my graphics so out of order? There we go. Rockets, it's at 12.5 now. If you like the Rockets, I don't think there's any reason to bet that now. Not sure if how much higher it gets. So maybe I would probably need 9.5 to actually consider betting it. But I think the Rockets win comfortably. Minnesota, Milwaukee. I did bet this one, and it looks like all the 2.5s are gone. I didn't understand. It makes me feel better that the 2.5s were gone, because I'm on the Bucks -2.5. And there was just all this Pinnacle opened at 2.5. They were all sitting there at 2.5. didn't really get it. Starting to make me worry a bit. But yeah, I'm on the Bucks at -2.5. Over a possession now at 3.5. I think that's still cool. I think this is a good one for the Bucks. So obviously the lead story, there's no Anthony Edwards, there's no Rudy Gobert in this one. Anthony Edwards is dealing with an ankle injury. It's the same ankle injury he's been dealing with. He's been playing through it, and they're giving him a night off. So I don't think it's serious or anything. I think he's been playing through an injury the last few games. So no Anthony Edwards in this one. And Rudy Gobert is suspended. Oh, yeah, I think he's suspended for getting his sixth flagrant or something. Like he had a flagrant, whatever it is. I forget the exact rules, but he's suspended for a game for flagrant fouls. So there's no Anthony Edwards and there's no Rudy Gobert. Now, shout out to the Timberwolves. They've actually played pretty well in the games without Anthony Edwards. In the 7 games we've seen Minnesota play without Anthony Edwards, they're 4-3 straight up, 4-3 against the spread. And actually, if you look at their offensive and defensive efficiency numbers with and without Edwards, they actually look about the same. So Minnesota's been fine without Anthony Edwards so far this year. We've seen 7 games, but they had Rudy Gobert in those games. Without Edwards and without Rudy Gobert, I just think that's too much for Minnesota to overcome. If Giannis is able to get Naz Reid in foul trouble, I mean, is Minnesota really going to rely on Julius Randle to protect the rim? Look, I'm a Knicks fan. I'm a Julius Randle apologist. I'm a fan of the guy. I've always defended him. I always thought Julius Randle was kind of like I feel like if you want a great basketball team that can make a playoff run, you need to have a guy that's kind of like emotional. Like the Warriors have Draymond Green, kind of the guy that can like be the bad guy so Steph can be the good guy, kind of a thing. And I thought Julius Randle was always the perfect role of that. So I like Julius Randle. I think he's a good player. He can't protect the basket. He's not a defender. So if Naz Reid gets into foul trouble, and by the way, Naz Reid isn't even the best defender in the world. So if Giannis is able to get a couple fouls on Naz Reid early, who's protecting the rim for Minnesota? And look, I guess it's kind of a weird scheduling spot for the Bucks. They're coming back from a West Coast road trip. They're coming home for 1 game and then immediately going out to San Antonio. So that kind of sucks. That's a weird scheduling spot. I suppose I don't like that. But as a whole, it's been a little disappointing since getting Giannis back, but it hasn't been that bad. They're 5-3, 4-4 against the spread. Played a little bit of a questionable schedule. Couple weird losses in there. They lost to the Wizards at home. So the thing with the Bucks, I think they're a little bit undervalued right now. They've played 9 of their last 11 games on the road. 9 of their last 11 games on the road. It's kind of the opposite of the Suns. I was saying about Phoenix, like the market might like Miami a little bit because the Suns have played so many games at home and now they're out on the road. And so they might be a little bit of a sell high on Phoenix. It's kind of the opposite of that. The Bucks have played 9 of their last 11 games on the road. So it's tough when you play that many road games. I think the overall sentiment, the overall opinion on the Bucks might be a bit lower than it actually is. At home against Minnesota with no Anthony Edwards, with no Rudy Gobert, you got to win this one. Very winnable game. -2.5, very affordable number. It's at 3.5 now. But yeah, I bet Milwaukee in this one. That might be no. I think it got -110, but yeah, -2.5. That's exactly what I bet right there. Denver Nolans. All right, Nuggets Pelicans. Man, who the hell knows what this Nuggets team is right now? In all seriousness, what is this team? So yeah, in terms of injuries, it's been an unlucky season for the Nuggets. Remember, even before Jokic got hurt, they had Cam Johnson out. They had Christian Brown out. They had Aaron Gordon out. I think there was someone else that missed a chunk of time too. So yeah, they had all those guys out. Then Christian Brown and Aaron Gordon come back right when Jokic gets hurt. Now Valanciunas is out as well, who was supposed to kind of be the guy to give Jokic some rest, and they can still have a formidable center out there. Yeah, this team is just a mess. That being said, it has not been a blind fade at all. I mean, the problem with the Nuggets is you're looking at these game logs, and There's just no consistency here. So these are their last 7 games. These right here on the screen are the 7 games they've played without Jokic. And on the right, it tells you who was out in those games. Where is the consistency? I mean, the first 2, terrible offensive games. Then they played 3 explosive offensive games in a row against the Nets, the Sixers, and the Celtics. By the way, 3 good defenses. So how can we get any sort of feel? Cleveland's struggling defensively this year. They couldn't score. Then they play 3 good defenses in a row, all offensive ratings above 122. 3 great offensive games in a row. Then they can't score at all on against the Hawks at home. No Jamal Murray in that one. Jamal Murray didn't play the last 2. He's questionable. But yeah, and then we've seen 4 terrible defensive performances, but we've also seen a few really good defensive performances in there. To me, the only consistency here on this graphic is a super slow pace. What's the fastest pace you see on here? 97 possessions? That's slow. So the only consistent thing we're seeing from the Nuggets since Jokic has been injured is a slow pace. So there's something we can hang our hats on. The Denver's playing a very slow pace right now. The graphic kind of tells the whole story here. New Orleans 1-10 in their last 11, 2-9 against the spread. Betting on the Pelicans has not been a lucrative investment. I will say the Pelicans defense, still no Herb Jones, and that's really what you're waiting for. If you're looking for any sort of spot to start buying on the Pelicans low, you want to see Herb Jones back on the floor, but they have played a few decent defensive games recently. If you look on the graphic, last 5 games, they're 17th in defensive efficiency, and they've actually 4 of their last 5 games have been solid defensive games. So it does look like maybe the Pelicans defense is coming around a little bit, but I have no idea in this one. To be honest, I'll put up what I wanted to bet. I can't, in good faith, bet this, but it just full disclosure, what I wanted to bet here, you're going to hate it. Under. I wanted to go under. There's a 235.5. How can you bet under in Nuggets Pelicans? I get it. But the Nuggets have been running a super slow pace, and you haven't really noticed because their offense or their defense, their offense has been really good or their defense has been really bad. So we've still seen a few high-scoring games. It's kind of hid the fact that they've played a really slow pace. So, yeah, I would go under. But that's a really ugly one. No one's going to like that. Hawks Lakers. This is a tough one. All right, Hawks Lakers. So Hawks are playing with a new energy right now. So in their 7 games since getting Kristaps Porzingis back. Now, this is a little bit misleading. So they're 5-2 against the spread. Defensive rating at 104. That's great. That would make them the best defense in the NBA. So out of nowhere, Kristaps Porzingis comes back from injury. The Hawks are playing outrageous defense. Now, it's not necessarily because Kristaps Porzingis comes back, though, because he's only played in 4 of these games. So this is just since he's returned, but it's not necessarily because he returned. I'm sure it's helped, but he hasn't even played in all these games, and he's not playing in this game. So since Kristaps Porzingis returned, might not be the most... wow, I spelled Porzingis wrong in this graphic. There's no T in Porzingis. So yeah, that's a typo. But so this graphic says that they're playing great defense since Porzingis has returned, but it's not necessarily because he's returned. This team's just playing with a new energy right now. Remember, before this point, they couldn't stop anybody. They were 2-10 in their previous 12 games with a defensive rating over 122. So the Hawks defense couldn't stop anybody. Porzingis comes back, and around that time, not just Porzingis, the whole team starts playing defense. We just saw the Hawks play their first game. I believe it was their first game with CJ McCollum. Went on the road to Golden State, beat the Warriors comfortably. Nice looking numbers here. Forced a bunch of turnovers, protected the basketball. This Hawks team is playing right now. There's no Porzingis in this one, like I said, which makes it a little bit tough. What do we really think of the Lakers? at this moment. They just finished a game earlier tonight. You'd have to think it's out at Atlanta -3.5. The way I was thinking about this one, so I don't have a pick. My thoughts when I was looking at this earlier, the Lakers were still playing when I was looking at this earlier. It's over now. They've lost 124-112 to Sacramento. The way I was thinking is the only way I could possibly bet this one is to do nothing, let everyone bet the Hawks, and then maybe get the Lakers at like +5.5, +6. That's the only thing I would do. But I don't know if it actually gets there. It's at 3.5 now. It was at 1.5 too before. So if you bet the Hawks early, it looks like you played it right. But at current, I would just wait. Maybe take the Lakers at a super high number. But to be honest, I don't have a ton of interest. And I actually didn't look at the last game. Didn't get there. So I'll put up a poll for Portland Golden State, but I actually didn't even get a chance to look. I'm going to pull up my spreadsheet real quick. You know what? I didn't even look at injury reports or anything for this one, so I got nothing. I'll let the poll hang for a few minutes. Scott says Lakers money line. I could see that. No Porzingis. Hawks come crashing down to earth. Everyone's just comfortably hammering the Hawks, laying more than a possession in LA. I could see it. All right, looks like most of you are selecting Portland here. But all right. Everyone, thanks for watching. New betting league starts tonight. I'm going to have it up in about 20 minutes. I didn't even see who won. There were 7 of you in the championship. I'm going to find out. I'm going to do the math, see who won. New betting league will be up in about 20, 30 minutes. So, yeah, thanks, everyone, for watching. See you all tomorrow.